You are now live.
Welcome. We're gonna wait a little bit to give people a chance to join us for a live session. We're gonna do Mendiants today, which is a very classical French little chocolate disc that you fill with nuts and dried fruits and well, whatever you want. It's a disc that originated long time ago from France, and it's named after the four Mendiants. Nowadays, you can find it on tons of different chocolate places all over the world, and it's very easy to make. So I'm gonna make that today. Behind the camera, I have my lovely wife, Laura. You wanna say hi?
Yes. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday and welcome to our kitchen.
There we go. So, making chocolate always starts with the philosophy of tempering chocolate. So, what is tempering chocolate? That means lining the crystals within the chocolate to make it get that nice snap and that melting effect that happens in your mouth instead of your hands. So everybody's probably opened a chocolate box and you're seeing that everything is gray and well, you still eat it, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that the temperature has become too high, the crystals separated, and then they melted back together, and that's what happens. Nothing wrong with it, but today I'm going to show you how to make it from scratch so that doesn't happen. So what we're doing is we're melting chocolate. We're melting it to 40-45 degrees Celsius, and that's about 104 to 113 degrees Fahrenheit. Me personally, I think it's very easy to microwave it. When you microwave it though, you have to be careful. So do it like 20 to 30 seconds at a time and not 2 minutes because it's gonna smell in your apartment for a long time after. I've heard. Right, Laura?
Yep.
Should we get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
And as always, I've prepared a little bit. So I have melted chocolate already. We're gonna do milk chocolate today. So this is now perfect temperature, perfect melted, and we are pouring it out. I have a marble slab. Not everybody has at home. You can do it in a lot of different ways. This is how I do it, and I'm gonna talk about this at the same time as I'm pouring this out. So I'm starting with pouring out approximately 80% on the marble or granite or any stone you have at home. Not from your garden, preferably. I leave about 20% inside that still has that warm temperature so that the chocolate is able to rise in temperature a little bit. Now I'm cooling the chocolate down, and this I'm doing with a beautiful scrape that you can get in any hardware store. Just don't use it for the walls before you actually make chocolate with it. I'm bringing this down to a temperature of 26 to 27 degrees Celsius, which is about 78 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And as it cools down, you can see that the chocolate is becoming thicker, and it also, we call it scars. It becomes a little bit. It leaves a pattern on it. It just doesn't melt out completely. Best way to do this is to use a thermometer. I've done it a few times, so I can do it without, and it's not hard. This is the perfect, if you want to start making chocolate stuff at home, this is the perfect way to actually start. Because the worst thing that can happen is that it seals up and then you just melt it and do it again. Different ways to temper chocolate. There's I'm gonna show this more in different live feeds that I do. Easy one for being at home. You can take chocolate, chop it down. You save a little bit of that chocolate. You melt the other part. Same thing, 80 to 20%. And then you seed it. So you add a little bit chocolate and you just stir until the chocolate becomes perfect in temperature. I'm gonna show you how to seed it. You can already see that this one is a little bit thicker now. It's getting perfect. The chocolate I use today is from Calabout. I do use from Coco Berry, I do use from Valrhona, Veltlin, Michel Cosel, Guittard. It depends on what I'm doing. For you people at home, try to find a high quality chocolate and use that one. There's no right or wrong. If you have any questions, shoot them out and Laura will be happy to forward them to me. Now you can see that it's nice and thick. So I'm adding it back to the bowl. If you don't have one of these, you can do this with a spatula, scrape card, anything that's flat. Just make sure it doesn't have any edges or anything that can scratch your beautiful marble slab if you have it at home. So. And got all the chocolate in there.
About how much chocolate would you say you need for this?
So for one sheet pan, we're gonna go through why we need it. It's approximately half a pound, I would say. 200 grams, 250 grams. It's just easier to work with a little bit more chocolate. So what you don't use for the Mendiants, you can always let set again. One sheet pan, like I have here, you'll get around like 30 Mendiants of that, and that's a nice breakfast, as I call it.
At our house.
So now, that little part of chocolate that I had heated, it's raising the temperature just a little bit on the other chocolate and it becomes tempered. So I'm doing a test here in the meantime. So you'll see that it's now fluid. If it's not tempered, it's not gonna set. It's gonna keep being melted on the marble. You don't want that. If it is, that means the temperature is still too high. You pour out a little bit more and cool that down and add it again. So, for me, I'm using all different kinds of nuts and berries and whatever I have at home. At the moment, I'm using a lot of dried berries. So you have raspberries, blueberries, and barberries. Barberries is a very unique little berry and it has a tartness of a little cherry. Figs, and then I have some pistachio, some walnuts, some almonds, hazelnuts, and peanuts. So all the nuts I always toast. You can toast them in regular oven. You can toast them in a toaster oven if you have that. You can also do it in a pan, but it's always better to do it in oven when you get an indirect heat, so the nut becomes perfect straight through.
We have a question, yeah. We have a question that says, can you do it with white chocolate?
100%, yes. You can do it with white, you can do it with dark, you can do it with milk. You can also do it with Calabout has a new, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's called Ruby. It's a pinkish, natural pinkish chocolate. If you're doing it with white, I would recommend like pistachio. A toasted pistachio is beautiful with white chocolate. For back to the toasting question, if anyone wonders, about 200 degrees Celsius, about 380 Fahrenheit, approximately 20 minutes. And make sure to rotate them a little bit so they get evenly toasted on all sides. And let them cool down before you add them to the chocolate. If you go back to here, now you can see the sample I did. This one has now set. This is called tempered chocolate. And as always, I prepared a little bit. Shoot.
I have a question. It says, Chef, why when I make a slab of chocolate, sometimes it has white spots?
White spot is the untempered chocolate. So that means you just need to stir the chocolate a little bit longer. Or you might have gotten some kind of humidity in it, like water stench or anything, which you probably haven't. But the longer it takes for the chocolate to cool down, the easier it's gonna become untempered as well. Before this one sets, I'm gonna pour it up in a piping bag. If you don't have a piping bag, you can use a spoon. If you're home, you can use your hand. You do whatever you want. If I use the hand,
Could you use parchment paper?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. You can do a little cone of it. There's tons of tutorials online to do that, so it's very easy. Piping bags you can also get online very easy. So when you're cutting a piping bag or a cone, don't start here because it's going to be a very big hole. So start farther down. You can always cut a bigger hole. You can never cut a smaller hole. So I always take a medium hole. And as we do in the business, we always make sure to throw this once because you do not want that in the mouth.
That wouldn't be very delicious.
You can pipe on a parchment paper. You can pipe on a steel pipe that I use. It's easy because it stays flat. Or whatever you have. So. You pipe cone shaped. A little bit.
We have one more question here.
Yeah.
It says, once the tempered chocolate is inside the piping bag, how long does the chocolate keep its temper?
It depends on how warm you have in the apartment. I can already see that it's getting a little bit thick here. So I'm just gonna finish this one. I'm gonna heat it up a little bit. So you can see I'm adding some walnuts.
Also a question, how long are these fresh?
This one stays fresh as long as the nuts stay fresh. So if you think about it, there's nothing that goes wrong. Chocolate doesn't go bad. It has to have an expiration date, but it doesn't go bad because there's no water activity in it. So if you're, for example, I'm gonna add some of these barberries, this is beautiful. If you're, for example, are making these ones, you can have them for a long time. Nuts, for example, I'm just gonna heat this one for 3 seconds in the microwave. And nuts usually last at least 6 months, unless they're already old. The reason I'm doing that is because it was starting to set. So I'm doing a second row, still just the coins. It's always good to have some kind of bucket to put it in so you keep it nice and clean. I also have some dried berries. You can use anything you have at home, actually. This is gonna be our movie snack tonight.
Someone wants you to repeat the name of the special berries you're using.
It's called barberries. I've never seen them. It was my partner that found them, Steven. It's I found it here in New York, at a store called Mendiants. And if you write to me on my inbox and you want to find those berries, I'll be happy to help you and send you to that store.
What happens if the chocolate inside the piping bag gets too hot in the microwave?
If it gets too hot, you have to retemper it. That's why you should only do it a couple of seconds. You can always retemper it. Like it's a very easy thing to do. I'm gonna do one last row. This is the perfect way to practice on tempering chocolate. Almonds. This one I'm gonna do a special one for Laura here.
Oh, thanks. Oh, my friend Britta's asking, what movie are you gonna watch?
I'm gonna watch Bloodshot. I don't know if
I don't think I'll be watching.
Oh, I think you will. It's Vin Diesel.
So what are you putting on this one?
I should have said chocolate. This is almonds, hazelnut. I do a little bit of peanut. And then I'm gonna add a pinch of salt. So all nuts, there's a reason you always eat nuts with salt, because it really increases the flavor of it. So just a little bit of salt. I have tons of different salts at home, but my go-to is always brought to you by Malden Flake Salt. Smoked salt is also great. This one's gonna set. You already see that it's slowly setting nicely, but as always, I prepared a little bit. Shoot.
This one says, Chef, can you let them crystallize on the countertop? Online, they recommend air-sealed containers for chocolate to set.
To store. So yes, 100%. If you have a good room temperature, not a New York summer apartment, heat in your apartment, then it's perfect. You should keep it in on your table or whatever for 1 to 2 hours. You can throw them in the refrigerator for 5 minutes and take them out just for it to set.
I have a couple more questions here for you.
Yeah.
It says, if you don't pipe all of them at once, is chocolate best preserved in the piping bag?
You can do that, or you just put it back into a sealed container. The good thing is, what I always do, I let it set completely, and then I crumble everything together. That way you're getting 100% of the chocolate out, and that's what you want.
And then one last question here about the piping bag. I think it says, how do you make the cone? Can you use any plastic bag to do it, or is it a specific one?
No, you can use any parchment paper. And if you're home and you don't have anything, like a regular plastic Ziploc bag is gonna be perfect. You pour in the chocolate and you just cut a little bit on the side, and then you can pipe with it.
Yeah.
Or use a spoon. And if you wanna like bring it up to another level, like put in some marshmallows and some caramel pieces and so on, and pour chocolate on top of it again.
And we have hello from Brazil.
Brazil, hello.
Yeah. What to do with the leftover chocolate? What's the best way to keep it?
I would put it in an airtight container. So you put it in room temperature or a cold storage. So I would go for, if you're able, to 55 to 70 Fahrenheit or 15 to 18 degrees Celsius is perfect. Make sure that you don't put it in a cupboard where you have detergents, your laundry detergent, and your something that smells strong, because chocolate is one of the world's best absorbents. So 1 week later, it's all gonna taste like laundry detergent, and you do not want that. Do we have any other questions?
No, I think that's it for questions for now.
So as always, I prepared with some dark ones. And I always prepared with some milk ones.
Ooh.
And when you're home, you can use your fingers without your gloves. This is an addictive snack.
Yes, it is.
And for you to see, that's perfect. I'll show you this one because it takes a little time, but you can see that they're starting to set nicely here.
Yeah.
So here's the result. I have some figs on this. To chocolate to crystallize, it approximately takes 24 hours to be perfectly crystallized. So best thing is to wait to the day after, but you can also eat it immediately. It's a very small difference, but when you're working with chocolate as I do, we always have that span of time to make sure everything's perfect. What you then do, you take chocolate, please. You come, can you get closer here? And then you get that nice snap. You have that beautiful temperature crystallization. There's no gray spots. Bam.
We had someone ask what was your favorite kind of chocolate? Dark, milk, white, ruby?
Yes. I love all kind of chocolate. My go-to is both dark and milk. I prefer, if I would use an origin, I love chocolate from Madagascar. Has a very fruity note to it. I love chocolate from Ecuador, the Dominican Republic, and Ghana, where I just went to. It has a very earthy, bold flavor with tons of like fruity notes, cherries. Is that it?
I think that's it
Any
for
last questions?
You're getting a lot of love though.
So this is how you make Mendiants. If you have any questions, please reach out to me on my DM or in the message field or whatever. If you want a recipe, you can find it at hakannyc.com. We will have everything available for you, and yes.
Someone's asking if you will do a demonstration of your beautiful artistic sculptures.
I will. I will do live sessions and tutorials of everything. A couple of sculptures I have is actually up here. It's like trolls. But I will definitely do that. We're gonna do everything regarding chocolate. I'm a chocolatier, and this is what I live to do. So I hope you're following me on this journey into the sweet heaven. And most important, in times like this, please stay safe. Don't hit the nightclubs too much right now. Put on it on Zoom or Google or whatever, and we'll soon be over with this, and I'll still be here with chocolate for you guys. Thank you.